hell is it?
Looks like a shopping center, one of those big indoor malls.
Would a mall be the best place to hide in a zombie apocalypse? Let's consult the Zombie Survival Guide by Max Brooks and see what it has to say on malls. It's a practically indefensible structure. If the crisis occurs suddenly, a number of shoppers may become trapped, leading to overcrowding, trampling, and suffocation, as well as attracting the dead. In an outbreak of any case, heading for a shopping mall would mean heading for a center of chaos. The chance for supplies is noted, but not worth the risk. So basically all of our characters are idiots. Well, it's finally happened. An outbreak of zombies has taken over and mankind is in a panic. Desperate to survive, Stefan and his girlfriend Francine steal a traffic helicopter and meet with SWAT officers Roger and Peter. After some tribulation, the group finds a vacant shopping mall, wherein they have all the supplies and entertainment they'd ever need. They even find ways to make the place habitable. Yes, it seems like things are looking up, but for how long? In any zombie outbreak, a safe haven can't stay safe forever. Now, it's tempting to jump straight to the gore, but before I do, I'd like to comment that George Romero is a fantastic director. He captures the hysteria of a global zombie outbreak in a way few others can, usually through sharp editing and scoring, which is hard to do on a small budget. Nowhere is this more evident than the first scene, which doesn't feature a single zombie in it, and yet ratchets up the fear and madness better than most modern zombie films.
They eat their victims, you understand that, Mr. Berman? That's what keeps them going. If we'd listened, if we dealt with this phenomenon properly, without emotion, it wouldn't have come to this. There is a martial law state in effect in Philadelphia, as in all other major cities in the country.
Insofar as the set, Romero famously shot Dawn after hours in a real shopping mall, making the carnage on screen slightly hilarious considering they had to clean it up afterwards. The mall itself, which has become an icon in zombie geekdom, presents many opportunities for fun and peril, as well as some strange social commentary. The idea of zombies, they being mindless consumers, running around in a shopping mall is a clever little stab at consumer culture, and there are many such ironies in the picture. Still, my favorite is the pointless political rhetoric that hampers rescue progress throughout the film. It satirizes humanity's tendency to cling to outdated ideologies during crisis perfectly.
We should feed them? What else are you going to do with them? Give me an alternative.
Now that all that stuff's out of the way, let's talk about the violence. Legendary special effects director Tom Savini lends his work to the picture, and while the effects might seem cheap today, for 1978 they were mind-blowing, and led to the film being re-edited in several countries. Those who could stomach the effects probably saw the ingenuity in a lot of them. It's impressive stuff for the era, and the technical crew gets major props. That said, my biggest complaint about the film is the zombie makeup. You don't get the sense of decay that a group of risen corpses would have, and it pales in comparison to the more grotesque depictions in other zombie media. It can be a distracting detail when revisiting a film this old, so I'm just going to give you a fair warning, it can look cheesy. But let it bite into you, and you're in for a ride. The actors in Dawn take you through all of the shades of the zombie apocalypse, terror, insanity, boredom, law-breaking fun, and portray subtle mental corruptions in their characters you don't see in a lot of zombie fiction. Stefan, for example, becomes territorial.
It's ours. We took it. It's ours.
Francine, cynical.
There hasn't been a broadcast for 3 days. Why don't you give it up?
Roger, adrenaline happy, and Peter, well, he's there to pick up the pieces.
All right, Trooper. You better screw your head on.
Yeah, come on. Let's go.
I mean it, man. Now, you're not just playing with your life, you're playing with mine. Now, are you straight?
Yeah.
For the side characters, you can tell Romero cast local actors, giving the film a very unique reality to it. It's not like Brad Pitt is running around fighting these creatures. You can really feel yourself in these smaller parts, grieving and surviving in a time of crisis. While I don't think Dawn of the Dead has any ultimate point to make, it does uncover some interesting conflicts and ideas. Here are just a few of my favorites. 1. Guilt-free anarchy. The zombie apocalypse creates a world free of inhibition. Looting, murder, destruction of property, all can be blamed on the undead threat. And what makes this fact interesting is that once people in Dawn realize this, they go nuts. Perhaps my favorite example is the redneck town they pass early in the film. A bunch of crazed gun nuts, they mock the weaponry of the military, drink booze, and generally treat the zombie apocalypse like it's the best thing that ever happened to them. And in a way, it sort of is. Here handed to them is a free pass to be as violent as they want, and even exercise personal demons they've kept long inside them.
Blow all their asses off, low-life bastards. Blow all their low-life little Puerto Rican and nigger asses right off.
Boy's gone ape shit, man.
I'm not saying it's right, but what honest person wouldn't take the chance and run with it? As aforementioned, I love the childish moral bickering in this film, but only because it comes from a true place.
So you believe the dead are returning to life and attacking the living?
I'm not so sure what to believe, Doctor. All we get is what you people tell us. And it's hard enough to believe without...
It's fact.
It's hard enough to believe without you coming in here and telling us that we have to forget all human dignity.
Human dignity.
Romero observes that people cling to civility not because they're ignorant, but because they're afraid, and of more than just the zombie invasion.
These are simple people. They have little, but they do not give it up easily.
To betray the last of their laws is to betray the last of themselves, and, as illustrated by the slow corruption of our main characters, giving in to the survivalist mentality has its consequences.
What have we done to ourselves?
3. People are the greatest monsters. The living pose the biggest threat in this movie. Now free from their laws and authority figures, they are dangerously savage and do more destruction than the hordes of undead. This is a common theme in great apocalyptic fiction, and it's on full display here.
You son of a bitch.
It may be 40 years old, but Dawn of the Dead is still one of the best zombie films of all time. See it.